AI, artificial intelligence. Everyone is talking about AI nowadays. Every developer, whether front end or back end, wants to work on AI side. AI is on huge demand. It appears in upcoming few years. Every interviewer will ask you about AI. And if you don't know AI, there is a huge possibility that you will miss out some big opportunity. So let's learn about AI. Hi, my name is Mohit Chavda, ex-Salesforce, ex-Walmart, and in this playlist I will teach you AI from very beginner level to advanced level, so that in the interviews you can say I know AI, and the possibility of cracking interviews increases by a lot. So in this first video we will talk about the basics, like what is the difference between AI, ML, DL and data science. So AI stands for artificial intelligence, ML stands for machine learning, DL stands for deep learning, and then we also have data science. Okay, so if you imagine this as a family tree, then AI, that is artificial intelligence, is the big parent, then ML, that is machine learning, is the child of AI, and DL, deep learning, is grandchild of AI. So you can see here, this is AI, this is machine learning, this is deep learning. So ML is a child of AI and DL is grandchild of AI. Now talking about data science is a related field. You can say it as a cousin which sometimes overlaps with AI. Now let's talk about each of these so that you get more clarity. Okay, let's first talk about artificial intelligence, that is AI. Okay, so AI is a broad field in computer science that tries to make machine think or act like humans. So basically your machine can think or act like a human. So it can do the tasks which normally need human intelligence. So these tasks can include understanding the language, just an example, voice assistants like Alexa, and then recognizing the images, for example face unlock, and then playing games, planning, reasoning, problem solving. All such things require human intelligence, and AI is making machines which can think or act like humans. So some key points about AI. So AI is not just about learning from data. Even if you hard code rules to play chess, that's AI. AI can include rule-based systems, search algorithms, logic-based systems, machine learning as a subset. As we said, machine learning is a child of AI. So AI can include that. So some examples of AI can be hard-coded chess engine, which uses the rules and search tree to play. Another example can be self-driving car, which uses AI combining computer vision, planning and control. Now of course a self-driving car requires a human intelligence. It can't just be based on data. It has to act or think like a human, and AI is doing that. After AI, now let's talk about machine learning. So machine learning is part of AI because, as we said, it's a child of AI. But in this, we don't tell the computer exactly how to do the task. Instead, we teach it by showing the data. So basically the goal of machine learning is to learn the patterns from the past data to make predictions or decisions. So there is no code like if-else statements. It just has the data and it has to learn from the data and then make the predictions or decisions based on the past data. So you can see we have the data input, then it will recognize the patterns, and then based on the past data it will make the predictions and take decisions. So as I said, machine learning is a way to achieve the AI by learning from data instead of writing the code like if-else rules. Now let's see some of the examples related to machine learning. First example is spam filter, which basically learns what spam looks like from the labeled emails. So from the past labeled emails, it will try to understand what the spam looks like and then in future make the predictions and take decisions based on it. Another example can be the Netflix recommendation. It learns what you might like based on what you have watched in the past. Another example can be predicting the house prices based on the size, location and other factors. So the basic ML process would be something like this. First step is to get the data, then choose the model, then train the model by learning the patterns, then test and evaluate, and then use it for prediction. Here you can see the visual representation which shows the steps to machine learning prediction. So the first thing is that you have the data. So you gather the relevant data to form the foundation of the process. Then you select the model. Depending on the specific task, your model may vary. Then you have to train the model, which means to learn the patterns from the data. Then you will do the model evaluation, which means you have to test the model to check the effectiveness and the accuracy of the model. And then finally you will make the predictions. So basically it's applying the trained model to new data for making predictions. Okay, after machine learning, let's talk about the third topic, which is deep learning or DL. So deep learning is a special type of machine learning that uses neural networks with many layers, or we can say deep neural networks. Why is it special? Because it can automatically learn complex features from raw data, and it performs well on huge data sets. So DL will be used in more complex things like images, videos and audios. It is very good. It performs well on huge data sets. AI is a broad field of intelligent systems. Machine learning is a child of AI, which is marked here with blue color. In ML, we learn from the data, whereas DL is a grandchild of AI, which is specialized ML using deep neural networks. So you can say AI is a parent, ML is a child, DL is a grandchild. Now let's see some of the examples of deep learning. Number one is image recognition. For example, it detects whether it's a cat or dog directly from the pixels in the image. Number two example can be speech to text, where it converts your voice to text. Number three example is ChatGPT. It uses the deep neural networks. So the key point in deep learning is that deep learning needs large data sets and powerful hardwares. And before deep learning, ML relied more on feature engineering, where we manually decided which features are useful. With the discovery of deep learning, machine learning has become more powerful. So after machine learning, let's go to the fourth thing, which is data science. Data science is a field of extracting knowledge and insights from the data. So basically the goal is to understand data, visualize it, make business decisions, build reports or predictive models. So you can see data science consists of data, visual representation, decisions, report generation, predictive models. So some of the things overlaps, hence we say it as a cousin in the family hierarchy for the AI. Now let's see some of the examples and key points related to data science. So data science often includes machine learning, but also data cleaning, data visualization, statistics and business analytics. It's broader. You may do analysis without ML too. So data science may include machine learning and may not. So you can see here includes the business analytics, visualizations, statistics and data cleaning. Some examples can be analyze the customer reports in the company, make dashboards showing daily sales trends and predict demand for the next quarter. Now that we have talked about all four things, AI, ML, DL and data science, let's see the differences via a summary table. Okay, so firstly checking what is AI, ML, DL and data science. AI, which makes the computers do smart things, to act or think like human. Machine learning is learning from data. Deep learning is machine learning using deep neural nets. So DL is a child of ML, and data science is extract insights and knowledge from data. So it's more about visualization. Talking about the subsets, AI is the parent, so no subset. ML is a subset of AI. DL is a subset of ML. So you remember we said AI is the parent, ML is a child, DL is a grandchild, because DL is a child of ML. But when we talk about data science, it overlaps with ML AI. So it's kind of a cousin in the family hierarchy. Talking about the data requirement, AI doesn't always need the data. ML always requires the data. Talking about DL, it requires large data sets. It requires huge data. And data science, yes, it requires the data. Now talking about some of the examples, in AI you have the chess engine, self-driving car. In machine learning you have the spam filters, recommendation engines. For deep learning you have face detection, speech. So you can see deep learning has more complex data, generally deals with images or videos or audio. For data science, examples are like dashboards, analysis, prediction. So you can remember it in this way. AI, the goal is to make computers act smart like humans. ML, it is one of the methods to do AI which is learn from data. There is no logic or if else code blocks in ML. You just learn from data. Talking about DL is a specialized ML, which is neural networks. And DS, which means data science, it uses data with or without AI or ML to find the insights, build reports, visualize and predict. So now let's take an example which includes everything: AI, machine learning, deep learning, data science. Here is the example. We make a smart healthcare system in a hospital. Imagine a hospital builds a smart system to automatically read the MRI scans and detect the diseases, predict which patients might get admitted, analyze hospital data to improve the operations, and answer patient queries via chatbot. Now think about it. If these are the things that we need to build, let me know which of these things can be done by AI, which can be done by DL, which can be done by ML, and which can be done by DS, because we are taking an example where we are using all four of these things. So just think about it, where which one can be used. Now let's talk about it. Number one, AI, artificial intelligence. So AI can be used in the chatbot that answers the patient questions like when is my next appointment, robot assistant that guides the patients to their rooms, and rule-based system that automatically schedules the doctor shifts. Now these are AI because they do tasks that actually need human intelligence. I told you earlier, AI is to make the machines or the system that can act or think like humans, which require human intelligence. So for example, in the chatbot, if a patient is asking something, then the chatbot needs to think like a human and give answers like that. How does it do that? Some with learning and some just with the rules. It's a combination, learning from data as well as from the rules that are defined. Now talking about the machine learning, it will be used to learn the patterns from the hospital data to predict the outcomes. So basically, based on the patient history, it will predict the risk of readmission of the same patient. For example, will this patient come back within 30 days or not? It will also predict the length of the hospital stay based on the age, disease, history. Now these are machine learning based because they use the structured data like the numbers, patient age, disease code, and then learn from this data and then use this data to predict for future. Now coming to the other things, where will be deep learning and data science used in this example? Data learning will be used for complex unstructured data like images, audios, videos. So the MRI scan analysis, which is really complex, which requires a deep neural network understanding to detect whether there is tumor just from the MRI images. So that work will be done by deep learning. And also voice to text system, which converts the doctor's notes into text using speech recognition model. That will also be the part of deep learning. So you can remember the complex systems like images, videos, audios that will be handled by deep learning. Now these were deep learning because they need to process raw pixel data, images or raw audio, which is hard for traditional ML. Okay. And now coming to the fourth one, the data science, it will help in understanding and summarizing the data to get the insights. For example, analyze the hospital admission data, which departments are busiest on the weekends, and build the dashboards to show the average wait time, infection rates, revenue trends. So you can convert the data into the dashboards, visual forms, stats, so that you can understand it in a better way. Another example could be patients over 65 in ward B stay 2 days longer on average. So this is kind of the reports that you are generating from the data. Okay, these are data science tasks because the goal is insight, visualization, and helping human decision making, sometimes with ML, sometimes just stats and graphs. Okay, so it was a wonderful example where we saw all four of these getting combined, and let me show you that in a summary table for this example. Okay, what is done by what and why? Here we have mentioned. So first of all, AI, we used it in chatbot, robot guide, and scheduling the assistant. Why? Because these tasks require human kind of thinking, intelligence, how you act like humans, how you think like humans. The next, machine learning. You use that in prediction of readmission risk. and predict the length of the stay of the patient. Why? Because it simply learns from the patterns of the past structured data. Talking about the DL, it will be used to detect the tumors from the MRI scans and converting the speech to text. Why? Because this is a complex data, and learning from huge complex data set like images, audios, videos, this is work of deep learning because it involves neural networks. And after that we have data science. What will be done by data science? To analyze the trends, make dashboards, find correlations. And why we use data science here? Because we extract the insights and visualize the data. So this was an example where we used all four of these. Awesome. So in this video we talked about four basic things: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and data science. I hope you got the understanding what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence, what is deep learning, what is data science, and what's the difference. Okay, so this was the first video where we wanted to cover the very basics of AI. In this playlist we will keep on expanding from beginner level to the advanced level so that you become a pro in AI. I hope you found this video helpful. In case you have any doubts, put that in the comment section. I'll try to help you out. If you found it helpful, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Alright, this is Mohit Sabda signing off. Subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.